Good evening, everybody. I'm Reverend Rob Banaszak. I'm the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C., and this is our Wednesday evening meditation, a time that we can take just a few minutes in the stillness, allow ourselves to be guided on a short journey, and to go just a little more deeply into ourselves, because we can do it in the safety of our community, in the safety of our own spiritual presence. And of course, we do that, we take that journey, thanks to the guidance of this beautiful deck called the Earth Magic cards. And we'll select a card, and the card will give us several things. It will give us an image, of course. It will give us what the name of the image is, and then it will give us basically the overarching theme of that image. And then I'll read a little bit about that card from the book. And using that information, we will journey together into meditation and discover what specifically that card, that message means for us this week. I encourage everybody to reflect before we get started, before I begin to shuffle. So just begin to think about now, if you have a question for the Oracle this week that will be answered by this card, or perhaps you are here just to allow the card to speak to you in a way that seems relevant for you. So either way, you can ask your question, or you can listen to the card and see how it aligns with what's going on in your life. And then I always like to kind of expand to a macro level and see what the card means for us as a community, perhaps as a world, as a universe. So not that hard, can be a lot of fun. And all you have to do is click on your computer or click on the link to get here, and I'll take care of the rest. Okay? So let's do that. Let's begin. I'm going to shuffle the cards, which again, if you're a shuffler out there and are wincing every time I do, so sorry, but not my thing. Plus, I want to make sure I protect these cards as well. So I'm just going to move them around. But the thing is, as I move them around, if you can add your energy to that card movement, you can either hold up your hands, you can close your eyes and just send it to me, or you can just allow it to flow from you to this space. Adding your energy means that then I will draw the top card only, so that you can see that I'm not reaching into the deck to use my own intuition to pull out a card, that we have charged this deck together by putting the energy into it. And then I'm just going to take the top card, which is really all of our cards, because we can all see that it is the top card. So a reminder to those who may be watching on YouTube, either live or recorded, please remember to hit like to this video, and then of course subscribe to the ISD DC YouTube channel so that you can see all of our wonderful meditations and services whenever we stream them live, and then have them up for your viewing in the recorded version. Like, subscribe, and if you hit that little bell too, then you'll get notifications of when we release, stream, or post a recording. All right, let's do this. Let's shuffle. Now I'm going to shuffle. So just moving them around. I'm going to feel your energy now, however you want to add it. Send me that energy. Is it your question? Is it your love of this Wednesday night ritual? But it's your energy that is being added to all of our energies. And I do like to say that even if you're watching the recorded version, you can add your energy to the community energy. All right. Draw top card, top one. Let's see it right there. And that card is... Ooh, how appropriate. The card is Winter Solstice. Reflection. We're still in winter, And it's always a good time to reflect, right? So let me put the card onto a space where the camera will show you the card. You can take a review as I switch cameras. So there's the card, the winter solstice card. There we go. So let's read a little bit about this card. It is winter solstice, reflection, the midpoint of winter is not only the shortest day of the year, but also the longest night. The world is very still and the land is dormant. Various festivals of light are celebrated and have been for thousands of years, serving as a reminder that the light will indeed return. Throughout many cultures, there are tales describing this time as the birth of the archetypal Sun King, including the Christian story of Jesus' birth, representing the hope of renewal from the darkest period of the solar cycle. This image portrays a simple yet powerful representation of the winter solstice. We see a clear reflection of the snowy woods on the still, frozen waters of the lake. The blue tint drapes the scene with an even greater sense of quiet and solace, inviting us to walk very softly lest we disturb the intense yet gentle grace of this scene. The reflection of the trees on the frozen lake reminds us that this is a time for us to go inside, to both our physical shelter as well as our internal world, and there contemplate the season that has passed, the season that is, and the seasons yet to come. Let's stop our video just for a second. Go. So, as you look at that card, as you listen to the words, how does it make you feel? What have you seen in that card? There's the hush in the forest. And while winter solstice takes place on December 21st, this time, really, this mid-February is where we all feel the mid-winter experience, right? So maybe we are tired of the cold, maybe we are loving where we are in the weather, but this is where, at least when I was growing up, we felt that dead of winter feeling. And so that time of reflection is just that, is the opportunity to assess where we've come from and to know that the light is returning. Even as we speak, it began to return in the second following the winter solstice. So what are we moving from? What is that place of shadow into the place of light? And of course, as we've been talking about for the last several weeks, that place of shadow is as much a part of us as the place of light. And so I really invite everyone, as we reflect, as we think of the time where light is returning, to, just like when we're kids, to not wish the year away to get to the summertime or the springtime, but instead to figure out, to take stock of what about this time specifically is beautiful and important to us. Because the shadow side, the dark side, whatever we want to call it, it is as much a part of us as the side of light. Until we embrace that concept, until we learn there is so much love that we can have for this time, for our shadow side, for the darkness. And there's so much love from that side of us to give back to us, so that we can become whole and feel and experience that wholeness together. So, all that in mind, really, your meditation is about what you choose to take away from this experience for yourself. So, get comfortable, settle in, make that nest. We're going for that experience of being energized, yet relaxed. So, an energized relaxation. So do what you need to do, and then we will begin our meditation. And how do we begin it? Pretty much the same way each time, and that is by paying attention to our breath as it enters into our body. So we are inhaling through our nose, and we're holding on for a moment. And then we're exhaling through our mouth. And let's inhale again and hold and exhale. And really pay attention to how that breath feels as it enters. That life-giving breath. One more time. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And with each breath from this point forward, as we return to our normal breathing pace, we relax more and more. Each breath. Breathing in. And as we draw closer into ourselves, we begin to lift from our physical body just imagining ourselves becoming light and misty, and floating first above our physical bodies, and then as the sight of our physical body disappears for just a moment, we allow ourselves to dissipate into the ether, but remaining the essence of our presence, always who we are, and just being in this space. relaxed we become, we find ourselves ready for that reflection, for the answer that we seek, for our curiosity to be responded to, and for the peace of mind and confidence that we seek every day when we meditate, when we pray, when we go to sleep at night. We feel our energy as a presence. We feel our weightlessness and freedom from physical pain and anxiety. And this, in the next few moments, is our time for that reflection. And we allow whatever thoughts, whatever topics that has been running through our brain, or just through our general psyche, to make themselves known. And let us reflect. The next few minutes, just listen to the sound of the tones and let them take you to where you have asked to be tonight. As our mist seems to be floating here in the ether, to the mist of our essence, what have our reflections this evening told us about ourselves? What have we learned? What have we discovered? What do we love? In the stillness, we have discovered perhaps more than we expected to discover. We've met with a side of ourselves that perhaps we've been waiting to meet or afraid to meet. But in the safety of the essence, in the safety of the community, in the safety of the meditation, we recognize and love all parts of ourselves, and enthusiastically, eagerly look forward to implementing our answers in our daily living from this point forward tonight. So with this new or newly restored confidence and peace of mind, let us choose to consciously kind of gather all of our mist that we've allowed to separate and be free, and just bring it back together to begin to take shape through the ether, just feeling the mist of ourselves just gather into our physical bodies gently, as that essence and that mist fills out every corner of the physical self and moves away from the mist into our solid being. We begin to recognize our physical body. Maybe we begin to wriggle our fingers and toes and sense our essence that is enlivening our body. And finally, we connect with that breath once again, that breath that has held us tethered here in this space, keeping us safe, allowing us to journey deeper and deeper into ourselves. So we'll return completely as we gently left on our journey. We will take 3 breaths. We'll inhale and exhale quickly on the first 2, and then we will inhale and exhale on the 3rd breath and open our eyes together. So let's inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. One more deep breath as we open our eyes. Of course, I say welcome back. I'm always curious. Where did you go? What did you discover? Of course, some of it is personal, but boy, I'd love for an update about where you've been, what you've seen, and maybe even a report back on how you've applied it this week. So please feel free to return to where the YouTube recording is and post a comment in the chat about your experience tonight or how you've been able to apply your experience tonight with the rest of your week. We'd love to hear that. We can share and experience and know that we are all going through these things together and provide support and encouragement to continue this courageous, yet beautiful and gentle journeying into the deepest part of us. So with that, I bid you good evening to all on this February 9th. Time is plowing forward. Again, this is the night. It is appropriate that our card is winter solstice because this is that night that feels like it is midwinter, isn't it? So stay warm, be well. Please check our website. We've got so many things coming up at ISD, including our Sunday service coming up this weekend that will be celebrated by Reverend James DiBiasio, our founder. Tomorrow evening, we have our Course in Miracles discussion group. Again, you can find information about this on our website. Really wonderful experiences. We welcome anybody at any time on their journey to any of these experiences, so please join us. And then everything else, check the website, check the dates. Some great things coming up, and I am looking forward to seeing each and every one of you there. So have a beautiful evening and good night.